beautiful friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my Tuscan style salmon pasta. I call this my Tuscan style salmon pasta because when I went to Italy, I went to Tuscany and I had the most delicious pasta dish with grape tomatoes, spinach. It had a little bit of cream. Italians are not so big on cream, believe it or not. I know a lot of Italian dishes here in the States are with cream, but Italians are not very big on cream. But this one did have a little bit of cream, but it was still very nice and refreshing in a way. So I wanted to recreate that. And instead of using chicken like they use in the recipe, I decided to use salmon. And this recipe makes for the most delicious spring and summer meal. I love to eat fish and seafood in spring and summer, so I think this recipe is so comforting yet so light and refreshing and absolutely delicious. As you will see in the rest of the video, I look a little bit different because when I was editing the recipe, I realized that my mic was off in the intro. So here I am recording it again for you guys. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. I'm going to show you the ingredients so we can go ahead and get started. Okay, so you're going to need, as you see here, some salmon fillets. This is just a frozen one that I thawed out. You can use fresh, doesn't really matter. You're going to need some heavy cream, olive oil, some cherry tomatoes, spinach, onion, garlic, Parmesan cheese, butter, dill, dried dill, a little bit of wine, optional, but I really recommend it. Chicken stock, a little bit of salt and pepper, and of course your pasta of choice. Here I'm using some penne, but any type of pasta you like, you can use for this recipe. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is prep our ingredients. So that is just the onions and the garlic. I'm going to give it a nice chop. I also have a pot with some water, which I'm bringing to a boil so we can cook the pasta. So I'm going to dice my onion. You can do this as thin or as big as you like. Okay, so I am done mincing my garlic here, as you can see. And now we just have to dice our tomatoes so we can be all ready with our prep. It's very simple, just pretty much grab them and cut them in half and you'll be good to go. You can also leave them whole if you wish. I kind of like to cut mine in half so the juice, can ooze out of the tomatoes and they can make the most beautiful sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. I'm going to season my salmon fillets very quickly with some salt and pepper and a little bit of dill. You can use, I don't know if you can notice, but my salmon fillets have the skin. You can do it with the skin on or you can do it with the skin off. It's up to you. I kind of like to cook mine with the skin on just because it holds the salmon a little bit better, cooks a little bit better in my opinion, but it's completely up to you. And then we have to do a little bit of dill. Like I said, I'm using dried dill, but you can use fresh if you wish. And last but not least, a little bit of black pepper. I have my skillet here over medium heat. I'm going to add my butter and then right on top I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. So I'm going to let the butter melt before we sear our salmon fillets. Okay, so my oil should be hot enough. If you're cooking yours with the skin, I'm going to cook it skin side down. You want to hear a little bit of sizzle like that. So as you can see, I'm not going to touch the fish at all until it's cooked halfway. We're going to flip it and then we're going to cook the other side until it's nice, has a beautiful color. Okay, so as you can see, has a beautiful color. And my water also came up to a boil, so I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta so we can have it ready by the time the sauce is done. Okay, my salmon should be seared. We're going to flip it and see. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that beautiful color. Okay, so we're going to transfer it to our plate so we can start on the sauce. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. As you can see, I have a little too much fat, more than I would like. So I'm going to remove it with a paper towel. Not too much. We do want some of that fat in there so we can make the sauce. Now to my pan, I'm going to add the garlic and onions. And I'm going to cook these until they're nice and translucent in color. Okay, so this is going to cook for about 2 minutes and I'm going to show you exactly how you want them to look once we get there. Okay, so my onions and garlic are looking fabulous. So to the pan, I'm going to add my tomatoes. Okay, so we're going to move that around. Our tomatoes are going to get nice and soft, and all of that juice is going to help create a wonderful sauce. Okay, just like that. Want to give it a little shaky shake. And let those tomatoes cook in there for about a minute. Then we add the wine, the cream, everything else. Okay, so now we add our wine very carefully. And like I said, you don't have to add it, but I do believe that it gives a nice flavor to the sauce. You can add a little more stock if you want. So I'm gonna let the wine cook down, the alcohol evaporate for about a minute or two, and then we add everything else. Okay, tomatoes are looking beautiful. Now we add our chicken stock. You can use water if you don't want to use chicken stock. And our cream. And as you can see, it's not too much cream, so it's going to still be very light, but it's going to make, like I said, the most wonderful sauce. So I'm going to let this cook on medium heat. I'm going to let it reduce, I would say, a quarter of the way, so it's not as liquidy. I'm also going to go ahead and cut my salmon into bite-sized pieces so we can add it to the sauce later on, and our pot will also be done. So I'm going to go ahead and drain that so it can be ready so we can add it to the sauce later. Our Tuscan style pasta is done, and I call this my Tuscan style pasta because it really reminds me of Tuscany in Italy. So good. I'm going to serve myself a little bit. So you can see it's very light. It's not a heavy, creamy pasta, which is perfect for summer and spring when you want something a little bit lighter. Let me get a few more pieces of salmon. Just like that. I'm going to top mine with a little bit more of Parmigiano Reggiano because there's never too much cheese. Just like that. Perfect. And now we try it. So let me get a bit of tomatoes, a bit of salmon. It's light, it's creamy. The salmon is cooked perfectly. Just the whole combination is pure perfection. This is honestly the best meal with a little bit of wine. Here I have my wine. I have my pasta. Everything's good in life. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so it notifies you every time I post a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.